Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the buzzworthy Bumblebee Legacy Towline figure. So this is of course a homage to the Robots in Disguise from the year 2000 Universe Towline figure. So with this video we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. I'm going to have a go at his Evo Fusion combining gimmick, but rather than use it with hot shots, I'm going to have a go at doing it with medics because I think the colour scheme will work really well. We can also see how he looks and compares to other uses of the mould, including the very first use of it, and I'm pretty sure he's going to do really well displaying with the Toxitron collection, so I'm going to bring in a few of these figures as well to see how he looks and displays with them. So quite a lot to get through with this video. As I like to pop these back, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please. And the second is to thank Hasbro Pulse, because as you can see they got this out to me really quickly and in great condition. So he's in a buzzworthy Bumblebee box, and that means on the one side you've just got the image of him, and on the other side you've got the main buzzworthy Bumblebee characters. And buzzworthy Bumblebee do everything from Legacy to Studio Series to their own range of toys, so this is another really interesting one. And I've got to confess as well, this is one of the figures, and in fact not one of the figures because we've just seen two of the uses of the mold, but this is definitely one of the characters that I don't really know anything about. I have to confess that the Unicron trilogy, well in fact, and RID universes I've just read out, I wasn't really collecting at the time. I was sort of buying G1 figures back about that time, but none of the new stuff, so it's completely new to me, and for that reason unfortunately I won't be doing a comparison with the original because I don't own him. Right, there he is inside the packaging. What I like about this guy is already you can see that he pretty much fills all that out. It's quite a big figure, in fact the mold's great. You're going to see how good it is in a second if this is your first experience of the mold. There's the instructions, and indeed there's an abundance of accessories I'm going to show you now as soon as I've just set him free. Okay, so I've set him free and it's time for some first impressions, and this is well up there with the Toxitron completely zany color scheme. It's just the craziest color scheme I think I've ever seen. This is really close to topping the sideswipe molds that we've had recently, which I'll show you again in a second. Now what I like to do with these videos is first impressions first, then alternate mode, then coming back for the comparison. So for first impressions, as I've already said, the color scheme is just completely out there. It really is mental. It's so good. What we're going to do as well now, we're going to look at the articulation. Now for those of you who are unaware, this is a bit of a parts former, which means you can do exactly this, take pretty much all of his parts off and rebuild him and build different things. So for that reason the articulation is incredible. It's pretty much everything you can think of. So we'll have a look at the head that will spin all the way around. It doesn't look up or down though, just because it moves slightly, but that's just the transformation. As you've seen, the arm comes off, so the shoulder will go all the way around. There's a swivel underneath, there's a bicep flexion, there is a wrist swivel, there's a waist swivel, there's legs kicking out to the side, knee bends, ankle tilt and rock, and again these do pull apart, so you can break them down into loads and loads of pieces. This, as I say, is a pretty much redeco with a slight retool, definitely of the head and perhaps a few other parts, which I'll have a look at in a second, of Scraphook. This was the first use of it, so if you want to see the exact all the pieces all broken up and down, check out the video for him as well. The pieces that come in the packet anyway are, you've got these two things which can be used either as blasters or we can put them in the front of the car. We've got the wheel, we've got these two parts which again you can put anywhere. It's brilliant. So I'll put him up, in fact let's put it in the wheels. No, let's have a look on the back, see how it's got him. So it's got these in the wheels, so let's pretty much try and copy, if we can, what it's got on the back of the box with all these bits. Has it put them? No, it hasn't put them in. It's given them as guns as well, so I'm going to do the same. And the wheel, now what have we got? It hasn't given that one as a gun. It's putting this on the forearm, which is the hook, and then of course you can attach this hook to that as well. So again, you've got a multitude of different ways you can display this, and like I've said, with pretty much most of the figures that do this, in fact all of these, let's be honest, these are toys first and foremost, and they are fun because you can do things like this, because you can mix and match all the parts. I've got no idea where to put this wheel for now. I'm going to pop it just on the side of this forearm for now, which funnily enough it does look like they've done on the packaging, but you can see that it would have been purple, not the green colour it is. So as far as first impressions go, really impressed. It looks very good, and as I say, that's got to be one of the wackiest colour schemes I think I've ever seen. Right, let's have a look at him in his alternate mode. Okay, then we're back, and as you can see, he's already in his alternate mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. Couple of reasons. One is to keep the main length of the video down, and two is not to spoil it for anybody who doesn't want to have it spoiled for themselves. However, I have uploaded a tutorial video, so if you do want to see it, you've got the opportunity to see it if you want to, and of course if you don't want to, you haven't got to. But what I've also done is I've took all the pieces off to show you how we can attach them for this video, and I'm going to be honest, in the tutorial video it is using scrap hooks mold. I've just got so many reviews I need to get done. I'm just going to start off with him in the intro, and you'll get to see the transformation process exactly the same. Right, so this is the basic car unit without any of the pieces attached to it. We'll have a quick look at it first. Another thing I need to make you aware of as well, I had a right game trying to get this out of the wheel, which is what I just put it in. If you remember in the first part of the video, literally I pulled this off, it pulled the whole wheel off, and I had to pretty much prise it off. So just a bit of warning if you're going to pop it in the wheel yourself like it is in the robot mode there. I think for the future, and definitely for the rest of the video, I'm going to put it in the top, which is where I've got it with the rest of the figures. Even though I've never had that problem before, I just wanted to make you guys aware. So what we've got here, you can see with these gun parts do pretty much look like engine parts as well. So we can attach these in like this. We can then attach these parts to the side, which again, I think they look way better there than they did in the wheels anyway. And of course it means that you haven't got to take them out when you're doing the transformation process either. Right, this will then fit in either one of these, or in fact I think, no, you can't spin it around. I was going to say perhaps you could put it into one of the hands there as well, but you can't. So that'll go there. And then you've got a choice. You can pop that on the top. That might knock this out, or you can, I'm not too sure to be honest. I'm sure there's another way that you can attach this. Let me have a quick look on it. Again, not too sure off the top of my head. I know there's loads of places you can put this. It really is entirely up to you. And again, because you can see you've still got even more 5mm ports. So in fact, funny enough, I won't take them. I'll take scrap hooks. I'll take scrap hooks, guns like so. And then of course, if you wanted to, you can just build up whatever you want, turn it into a Mad Max car, whatever you want to call it. Just again, let your imagination run wild with these. And that's the best thing about these. They're just so much fun. They really are. This has got a bit of a mystery machine, I suppose, colour scheme going on it. Maybe that could be the next crossover, definitely, with this particular colour scheme. But alternate mode, standard size, deluxe figure. To be honest, I know I need to change my examples up. I've used this a few times now, but there's a Studio Series Jolt, pretty much exactly the same size. In fact, let's bring in a Predator from G1. So this is a G1 Predator jet, again about the same size, and of course he's still here. I need to swap him out. Legacy Animated Universe Prowl. So again, we're talking all the same sort of size. The deluxes do scale all really well together now, to be honest, so they do look good. Nothing much more to do about this, but as again, I know it's a use of this particular mold, so what I do like to try and do is try and keep all the videos quite different. So what I am going to do is I'm going to pull it all apart now, ready to show you all the pieces that we can pull him into. And then what I'm going to do is his Evo Fusion before we go back to the robot mode. Now you can see his arms just come off there, no problem whatsoever. It will fit straight back in. And that's, I suppose, yeah, the beauty of this is you can transform him without taking all the parts off, or you can do exactly what I'm just doing now, literally pulling him to pieces, because you can still do either. It's up to yourself. These were, I suppose, an update from the fossilizers from Kingdom, which is where you did break them all apart. But with these ones, you can keep them together and indeed still build them. So I'm going to take the little pieces off as well, and then I'm just going to quickly, while I've got a few seconds, bring in a figure and come back and show you how we can build some of the parts up. So as I said in the intro, I'm going to bring in medics just because I think the colour scheme is going to really work with this. And I'm just going to go totally off the cuff, to be honest. I was going to try and copy that, but in all honesty, I can't really work out how I'm going to do it. So it looks similar to something like this. Excuse me. So we've got these 5mm pegs. And of course, most of the figures, medics included, has got these pegs or ports all the way around them, shall we say. Now, you don't necessarily even have to use all of the ports, to be honest. You can just use a few. This was what was attaching the rear wheels, as you saw me pull them off just in the previous segment. So this is making him a little bit top heavy. So what I might have to do is even him out. Let's see if we can turn these into boots. I'd say we can. So that was, of course, the front of the vehicle. Let's bring this up. Is that going to stay? No, it probably won't, actually. So what I've probably got to do is that going to work? Yeah, there you go. So what I'm doing is I'm making some large boots just by bringing these up. Got the 5mm ports on them. I don't even know if this is going to work. If it's going to work, brilliant. If it doesn't, it just gives you a little bit of an idea of what I keep saying. And I know I've said it too many times, so I'm not going to mention it again. Just how much fun this is. And if you don't believe me, check out Botbender. If you've not heard of him, Botbender is just an amazing guy who does things like this, but he'll spend like a full day on it and he'll make it look absolutely amazing. So like a million times better than what this is. But as you can see, it is still working, and this is just gone off the cuff. Put a few things in. What have we got? We've still got his little blasters, so I suppose if I wanted to, I could put these either in the forearms or on the guns, but either way, we've got more weaponry there. The hook, if we needed it, I could perhaps attach it to the back via the clip, but otherwise I think you've got the idea. It's just a case of building all these up. I've just knocked the foot out. I'm just going to get it to stand there for the last few seconds of this segment anyway, and there we go. That's pretty much how the Evo Fusion gimmick works. You can clearly see you can have a lot of fun with that. Right, we're going to come back for the final time with him back in his robot mode and do some comparisons. Okay, we're back for the final time with him in his robot mode. Again, apologies for no transformation process. The video is separately uploaded. And I've just had a thought, and it's a pretty obvious one as well. If I just bring in the other two uses of this mold, we can do silly things like, you know, you could change one of the arms. I would imagine these will just come off, yeah, pretty much exactly the same. So you could change the arms. If you wanted to, you could change the legs over. So again, you can have a lot of fun with this. I just thought when I'm bringing in the other molds, because I'd like to do that with all the others, and of course with all the other figures, though, you can't do that. You haven't got the opportunity to just pull them all to pieces, whereas with this you can. So you can go completely crazy, and not only just make your own things up, you can interchange all of them as well, and of course build either something massive or just literally have a bit of fun and swapping each and every single limb around as and how you want to. Now I can pretty much see them doing another one of these, and if we do, we've got 4, so you will of course have a different limb color if you wanted to for all of them. I didn't point out any of the, I suppose, the gaps on this particular figure, because there's not, they're the ones that there is, like on the back of the leg and stuff. Again, you can't really help, especially for the way that the figure forms. I mean, I know some people don't really like the big gaps in the back of the legs, etc., but I suppose just because of what it is and the way that it does work, that's the reason it's got to be there, especially for the price point. So pretty much like I've done with the other two, I'm going to do the same with this. Now I'm going to keep it out of the wheel for what I mentioned happened earlier. As I say, pull the wheel completely out, but as you can see, got it off, no issues. That's going to go there. The little guns I'm going to pop in the hands as well, just like this. Some people, as I say, they put them, funnily enough, I did it with her. I've put them on the front and kept them in the front there because she had a different load of accessories, to be honest. And again, they've all got different accessories. You can have a bit of fun with them. I'm going to do the opposites to what we've got there then. So I'm going to put that on the opposite side, but I am going to put the hook in the back, I think, for now. Oh no, we might as well put it on the side. I think that's what it's there for, isn't it? Let's be honest. Let's see. Yeah, that's going to look a little bit better, I think. But that's how I'm going to be displaying him. There are the other two uses of the mold. Let me just move this box out of the way. And in fact, just for now, I'm going to take that off there because you can't put anybody next to him. And now it's time just to see how he looks and fares against some of the other figures. So that's, of course, the uses of the mould. What I'll do very quickly is people who don't collect mainline, I'll bring in some other third-party company figures just to give you an idea of size of these. And indeed, I should have I got any G1 figures lying around? Typically, I always have. So, of course, we've got third-party there. And then we've got some G1 hot rod on the side as well. But with regards to your mainline figures, let's have a look. We've seen Medics, but I don't think we've seen Medics with him normally. So he's quite a bit bigger than Medics. Medics is, I say that, and as soon as I stand him up, yeah, he's only a little bit bigger. It's just that he's sticking up. With other mainline figures, he's just your normal size deluxe, which is perfect, to be honest, as you can see. But now this is what I really want to do. I want to bring in some of the Toxitron guys because I think that's exactly who he should have been. Maybe should have been marketed with the Toxitron lineup. Who knows? But I'm sure you'll agree that he's going to fit in really, really well with these colour schemes. Just completely wacky colour schemes that they're making at the moment. And they just look so good. I can probably put cloud cover in the back just because he's a little bit taller, but there we go. There's nothing more to say about him. Great figure. Buzzworthy Bumblebee. So obviously, guys, I'm from the UK. I managed to get this from Hasbro Pulse. I believe you can get it from In Demand as well. In America, of course, it's Buzzworthy, so check out your targets. In the meantime, though, this is and was the Buzzworthy Bumblebee Towline figure. Let me know what you think of him in the comments. Will you be getting one for yourself? He is a lot of fun. Take care.